Now, welcome to our new edition of our periodic podcast program. We are having with us today a very robust personality, somebody whose resume we encourage you to join the accounting profession. We have here with us Tokosi Kofoworola. She is an alumni of a prestigious university in Africa, Lagos State University, and she is a multiple award winner in the Institute of Chartered Accountant examination, both at the ATS level and at the professional level. She has over 10 years experience in finance. That's great. And she currently sits as the vice chairman of ATSWA executive. ATSWA, for those that doesn't know, ATSWA means Association of Accounting Technicians West Africa. It's a route. If you want to go through, if you want to become chartered accountant through your whole level, you start from 6 years. So you'll be issued with ATSWA AAT. So Mrs. Kofoworola Tokosi, we are happy to have you here. So Ms. Kofoworola, can you share with us a brief story about your ICAN journey? How you are able to march successful, winning prizes, I used to envy you then, So I'm really proud of you. So can you tell us how you did it?
Okay, thank you for having me. I'm so humbled to be here, sharing my journey through the ICAN profession or the accounting profession as a whole. Okay, so I would say that accounting has always been one thing I wanted to study right from, I think, junior secondary school. I just fell in love with the commercial class, and I think accounting was it for me. Okay, so getting admission, I gained admission into the Lagos State University. Just almost, I think, immediately after graduating from secondary school. And while studying Lagos State University, I noticed that we had lots of colleagues in class then who had started their ICAN program. But I was looking at myself like, I don't know where they started this. How do I combine ICAN with school? Because what I heard then was ICAN was like a 24-unit course on its own for every stage. And whereas you had about 20-something units credit load of courses that you have to take per level 2 in school. So I didn't see myself as being able to combine the two. We had instances whereby the school went on. We had holidays, I think, between 100 level to 200 level. The holiday was a bit long, about 6 months. And I remember my uncle coming to tell me that I think it's time for you to start your ICAN examination. But because I didn't know so much about it, I was hell-bent. I said, no, they started lectures. I gave all forms of excuses at that time. And I didn't write the exam. I think about between 200 level, writing 200 level second semester exam we were preparing rigorously for the examination. And lo and behold, we got to hear that there was a strike action. Well, at the beginning, it started as a warning strike, which was a week warning strike. So we're like, okay, let's keep reading while we start the examination. But before we knew it, it became a national strike, and started with warning, then moved to 30 days, and before we knew it, we just heard it was an indefinite strike. Indefinite? What do we keep doing? It was at that point a very good friend of mine, Titilola Mujida Tayo, told me, because her father is an FC, advised her to start the AAT examination while still waiting for the strike to be over. She told me about this whole arrangement, but this was even later than the initial time I was told to start ICAN, because the examination was supposed to start in September. Here I was, third week in July, my friend telling me we need to write the exam. And this is a level where people have started receiving lectures since April. So I told her I'm not sure we can make it, but she said no, that she has looked at the syllabus and If she thinks, looking at the syllabus, she thinks that it's something we can do. I was like, are you sure? She said, yes, I think you should get a hold of the syllabus and look at it. We could get materials and just go and study. And that was it. We I moved back into the hostel third week in July. I got my registration form on the last day the form was closing, the registration form. It was just like a crash. I remember telling my father, don't worry, Daddy, I know you're not prepared for it, but
I'll lend you.
let me just go pay for the form and get it all started. I went back to school, got relevant materials. I got support from very lovely people who accommodated me in their hostel and just put me through Khadija David exam. It was a crash, really. I had just a month and 2 weeks to write the exam.
And of course, I got the most amazing support from my then boyfriend, who is now my husband. He was able to come around to put me through some terminologies in business law because as at that time we were yet to do business law as a course in the university. It was a 300 level course. Remember, this was a program I was doing at the second semester of 200 level, so that really helped a lot too.
I got into the exam hall and I saw the multitude of people, but then I told myself, you can do this. If they all can, you too can. I gave in my best, knowing fully well I didn't receive lectures, but I wrote all I could. I made sure that during the examination, I wrote everything that I knew. I put it down as I knew it. Surprisingly, the result came out. I passed all papers at once. And the other news came. You got the first, third, I think I won the third best in ATSWA West Africa. I was shocked. This is someone
Wow.
who prepared in just 6 weeks for the exam and didn't receive lectures. So with that, my parents getting to hear that, they said, now it's time for you to continue. You started this
Wow.
journey and you need to get through it. I wrote the second stage. I went to receive lectures in Pi. I passed all two at once. I won two prizes. That was another motivation for me to keep going. I got to the third level. I wrote all at once. I also passed, and not just passing. I won about how many prizes? I won prizes at that level too, and here I even won the best qualifying female West Africa at that level. So
Wow.
that gave me a need for me to just. It was a spur of the moment. People just started saying you can do it. People started looking up to me, and I felt wow, I needed to get this all sorted. And I kept moving, I kept doing it, and I cleared all stages all at once. Yes, this may not have been possible if not for the support of the people I had around me at that time, and the zeal and decision for me to always stand out. Because I grew up from, I have a very humble background because it was not easy funding that project. This is a Mushi born and bred, but then I wanted
Wow.
to stand out in every environment which I was. So it was very hard for me to tell people I was born, raised, and bred in Mushi. So the zeal to always stand out that yes, I come from this environment, but then I can be somebody. That was one inspiration that got me through all pursuits, secondary, university, and also my professional career.
Wow. Wow. That's so powerful. That's so powerful. So it's not as if there is any special approach for winning the prizes. It's just natural. It's just like it's a determination for you.
Yeah, I must say
So
that yes, because the first time
yeah.
I wrote the exam, I didn't know about. I remember someone was just joking because it wasn't got to know that I started preparing for the exam 6 weeks to the exam. Someone was saying, don't worry, you'll be a prize winner. And I laughed at the person, like, seriously?
Wow.
How is that possible? Knowing fully well that this is just a crash, that the prayer is just for me to get it for me to pass and just attempt this. But lo and behold, I wrote the exam, I passed, and I won prizes. So at that time, I knew that yes, there is no so much to be done. Just put in all what you can. Just do your. But like I said, when I was writing the exam, because I did receive lecture, nobody told me you need to minimize what you write in. So there and there, I just gave it all. This is what I know, and I put it there. That has always been my approach, though, when I'm answering questions. I try as much as possible
Wow.
to put it down so that whoever is marking understands where I'm coming from. So I wrote it all there, and since I saw that earned me a prize, I felt, oh, so this is all that is needed. and I continue to give him my all. Nothing too much, because I would say that I don't know how to read at night. I read during the day, and that is me for it. So
Wow.
I wouldn't say I had to do night, I had to do day. No, I choose my day and I sleep at night. I prepare well for the exam and I get to write it. And thank God, God has been crowning the effort with successes.
Wow, 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 wow. This is so touching. So another, I want to ask you, the some people will say ICANN is height, given the current situation, having some professionals that are, struggling to survive economically. Will you still advise somebody to go for ICANN as in the professional exam?
Yes, of course, because this is a very prestigious profession. And I would say that one of the recognized or the most recognized profession or the professional body in the country where we are, Nigeria, here is ICAN. So for you to be
Wow.
successful, for you to stand out, for you to attain that that growth which you desire for yourself in the profession, it is important that you start ICAN. That is not that's and ICAN shouldn't be the end, because of course that's supposed to be a stepping stone towards achieving several things. A lot of people may not be financially buoyant to write some other international recognized examination. You getting your ICANN certification would give you an edge, because of course ICANN has signed memorandum of understanding with so many of these professions or professional institutes. So it is possible that after writing ICANN, you can, with the MOU that's already signed, one can get exemption and write just few papers in the other profession which they desire. But to start with, because there is always that difference, you being an ordinary BSc holder or you being a BSc holder with an ACA, it is always there. At the beginning, it is always there. The amount they're going to pay would always differ. The professionalism and your knowledge would always stand out. So in this day and age, ICANN is still relevant and it is not over.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. That's insightful. That's insightful. So this is like a motivation for us to go and get our ICANN exam.
Exactly.
Practically, has ICANN played any role, as in your career? Has ICANN really helped you to rise fast, in your professional career?
Yeah, this is a yes.
Wow.
Because I remember being posted during my NYSC days to Ogun State and to work in a public secondary school in Songwater then. The person I was posted to work with, the teacher, immediately she got to know that I was a chartered accountant. She was wowed, and with that she told me, I don't think your knowledge shouldn't end here. You need to give more. So she encouraged me to look for organizations where I could work to get practical experience. And because of this ICANN journey, I remember being the first female lecturer, a part-time lecturer in Student Pi, one of the foremost tuition houses. So because I was a chartered accountant and I was a student, I received several lectures in Uppergate and Student Pi. It gave me that opportunity to meet people, to impact in people, because I love to share. I love to impact in people, knowledge. So I became the first. So being a chartered accountant, I was opportunity to be the first female lecturer. I met people who could recommend that, um, she can work here, she can do this here. So the thing is just referral. Submit your CV here. She's a chartered accountant, and before you know it, you get to go through the interview route, write the exams and all. Yes, it is possible if um, one one has gone through that, but the economy where we are now, for HR to always sieve out CVs, it's very hard. At times you may need a referral to get your CV being noticed. So immediately they get to say, oh, she's an ACA. Oh, let's invite her. Let's get to hear what she has to say. So there's always I hardly submitted my CV anywhere knowing fully well that it was that ACA designation that I never got into. It is now my call to now say, oh, do I want to turn it down? Do I like what the job is? Do I know what it entails or not? But it has always helped. I got to interview with several places. I chose the ones I wanted, and eventually, when I got the ones I wanted, there was that difference between being a chartered accountant and being a BSc holder. Because yes, my pay was different from what every other person in my level got, and with that and the knowledge, I could rise. I rose along the ranks, and I was able to move from different organizations to the other.
Well,
Yes, I believe
well.
I'm still moving.
So that shows that ICAN is still very, very much relevant.
Yes, it is.
Now, my question is another question I have for you is some people are of the view that the standards seem to be dropping. Back in those days, they will say, yeah, it's very tough. If you fail one, you fail all. But now they've introduced the credit system. And some people felt that has really affected the standard of the examination.
I'm
What do
sorry,
you
I
think
lost you. I think there was like a minute interruption. I couldn't hear again.
Okay, okay. Let me repeat the question. The question is, some people felt, some professionals, some colleagues, professional colleagues felt that the standards seem to be dropping over the years, that during the time of fail one, fail all, the ICAN was very tough. But now it seems the standard, the quality is going down, that the exam is now easy to pass. Do you support or do you believe in that school of thought?
Well, I beg to differ on that school of thought. I wouldn't say I'm biased because I wrote the examination when it was the credit system where you don't have to fail one before you have to fail, But then I don't believe the examination should be too rigorous. We have some other professions here. Before I can even started at the professional level where we could even choose some number of papers to write, people still felt, oh, ICAN was still rigorous. Or some other professions could allow you, or some other professional institutes could allow you pick one or not. I think it's about the test of knowledge, and it shouldn't be too hard. It's about this is a syllabus and questions have been set in that. Did you get the required cutoff? Yes. It doesn't make you less of a chartered accountant. So I don't believe in the system. It's just okay. This question has been set, and we should understand that things are evolving. The way things have been before now is not what it is. We started with the macro computers. What do we have now? So we are in a world of it's an evolution. So because that method was used then does not mean that that should always be in place. We had chalkboards the other time, but now we have marker boards. We're tending towards using iPhones and iPad as a means of teaching the younger generation. So it's about evolution and what's best. What matters most is, was the syllabus set? Yes. Was question asked? Yes. Did they pass with the cutoff? Yes. And if all those has been checked, nothing should be a difference, really.
Wow, wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you. Another question is the role of accountant is evolving, is changing gradually. What do you think the institute can add or can do to make the current ACAs relevant? There seems to be role changing for accountants. Is now changing from our normal analysis to projection and every decision making. So then in the area of IT too, what do you think the institute can add that will make the profession, the professional body more relevant to current trend?
Okay. There is no doubt that IT has come to take over, and everyone must be prepared to move with the current trend. I've attended some functions where the institute, as the current vice chairman, and I've been a serving member of the ATSWA executive committee for a few years now. I would say that a number of our topics or conferences to the younger account has always included anything on entrepreneurship, information technology, artificial intelligence, and the likes. Yes, the institute has been having seminars, conferences, talks on how people should move with the current trend. But I must say that it is not to the institute alone. We as individuals must charge ourselves up for the future. Yes, the future is upon us. We need to be able to develop ourselves because a number of people have qualified a number of years ago and they may not know what the current things are. People qualified at the point where we had SAS. Now what we have is IFRS. So people should be able to, and really the institute has this mandatory continuing professional programs every now and then. So people
Okay.
should be able to sign up for these programs to charge up themselves to to be in tune with what the current trends. But at the same time, people should also develop themselves. There are lots of videos on YouTube, on Coursera. There are courses to be taken, free courses on Coursera and the like. So we should be able to charge up ourselves to get this. I understand that the institute too should do more, but then we shouldn't leave it to the institute alone. We should also do what is required to be in line with the current trend.
Wow. Thank you very much. The last but not the least of my question is, what advice do you have for prospective chartered
Okay,
accountants?
so I would always say that people should believe in their can-do ability because at the point where I was told to start ICAN, I didn't believe I could at that time because I remember turning several or 24 unit course, I can't do this. But then at the point where a friend of mine convinced me and I got a hold of it, I said, oh, so this is it. And I just said to myself, if all this can, you too can. So having the mindset, so I think we all need to have a good mindset. If you have a good mindset towards doing things, you can all achieve it. So the slogan is, if others can, you too can. So a mindset game, so to speak, or theory would always work. If you believe in your ability to do things. But then if you believe you will do this and it doesn't happen that way, that doesn't make you a failure. I believe for you to be successful at what you do, you need to get back at it. You learn from your mistakes, you get back to it, saying, I can do better. That is always it. I can, I can. And with that, you'll be able to achieve your goals, your pursuits, and your endeavors. I think that really
Well,
matters a lot. Don't be discouraged by your environment, friends, peer pressure, what others think about you. Because there's always this thing about other people's opinion. Just believe in yourself.
In addition to the mindset theory, so to speak, I think getting relevant information also matters because remember I said because of the information I got was a 24 unit course, I didn't start the program on time. But as soon as I got a hold of the syllabus and I knew what was required, I started. So information is out there today. People should try to get what is important for them. We have it online, we have it in different places. So people should get relevant information that is needed and also not leaving out the God factor because you have to put God first in everything you do.
And have that can do ability, which is your mindset theory.
I am motivated. I am motivated.
Thank you.
Let me have just this last one. Given the current issue we are all having with COVID-19, how will you know, how will you rate online classes like this ICAN online? How will you rate it when compared with physical classes in this challenging environment? Then, even in the absence of
Hello?
COVID. Hello, can you hear me?
I lost you at some point.
Yeah, I said, let me have this last one. I said, given the current issues, current challenges we are having with COVID-19, how will you rate online classes when compared with physical classes, like this ICAN online platform?
Okay, so thanks to COVID-19, or we'll say thanks to COVID-19, well, we all didn't envisage the pandemic, but then the pandemic happened and everybody had to adjust. Pandemic happened and people had to work from home, people had to work online. A number of organizations didn't believe that their staff would be effective if they didn't need to sit at their desk from 8 to 5. But pandemic happened and people saw the change in processes and the way things have been done. So this has affected every way of life. and education has not been left out. So for one to succeed in this era, we just have to understand that the online classroom has come to stay and people should just get accustomed and used to it. ICAN online tuition is one of them, and people should just always follow through. You don't necessarily need to be in the physical class for the knowledge to be shared. All you need for you is to get your device, get your internet, and stay in a very comfortable environment. And learning continues. The number of people learned on Coursera, people learned so many things online. And online has just come to stay. We can't deny it. Yes, the pandemic, it has started before the pandemic, but yes, with the pandemic, it became more blown out. People now knew better about it. So for online classes, that's the way to go now. I won't say people could combine, it could be a blended effort, both online and physical. At times it could just be online. People shouldn't believe on the mindset that no, I can't learn if it's online. That's a fallacy. Put your mind to it. It's also a means of communication, a means of education, a means of passing information. So online classes has come to stay and people should just go with the flow.
Wow. Kofoworola Tokosi, we are really proud of you. You've done justice to.
Hello.
Thank you, Mrs. Kofoworola Tokosi. God bless you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Do have a lovely evening. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.